Since the New Mutant Study update came out in Blacksite Zeta, there have been a lot of reworks, including the perks, and a lot of people seem to be confused by the descriptions, and I want to make it a little bit more clearer so you know if the perk is the right fit for you. Before we begin, I have to explain some stuff first, because the perks utilize stuff like health, resilience, armor, and weight. Health is, well, your health. By default you have 100 of it, and when you reach 0 you die. Duh. You can lose it through any damage source, be it pipe leaks, fall damage, electrocution, melee damage, damage caused by mutation during ZCA-001. Regardless of how much health you have, your speed will not be affected. Then we have resilience. I would classify resilience in between armor and health. You have 40 of it by default, absorbs damage from most damage sources, gunfire, melee attacks, etc., and may not protect you from stuff like pipe leaks or ZCA-001 sound. It also regenerates passively very fast after a short period of time. Armor slows you down but protects or reduces the damage given to you from its respective damage sources. It cannot regenerate passively and covers most of your body. Lastly, weight. It affects your running speed. It is gained the more armor you have on you or the more items you have on you. The less weight you have, the faster you are. And that's the best way I can explain without going too much in depth about them, and we can begin with the perks now. The first perk is Frost. So, what do you get for the arguably fair price of 9,950,000 credits? You get to crouch! Woo! Okay, but in all seriousness, this perk is very unique compared to the rest, and it's very hard to explain. So, when you crouch, you get one of the three buffs, either massive speed boost, 50% damage reduction, or extremely fast health regeneration. Along with them, you also get 40 resilience, 8 of which is used every second, total 5 seconds, to keep the buff active. So, you need at least 40 resilience to activate them. And how do you get resilience using this specific perk, because it's a little different here? By crouching, of course, like, that's why I said crouching. If you crouch for 1.5 seconds, it will grant you 40 resilience, which is filled up extremely fast, and will show you the buff you will get. Standing up will trigger the buff, but standing up too early will cause you to be severely slowed down for like a second or two. So how do you choose which buff you want to activate? It is based on the situation as per the description. Speed is a general buff, you get it if you're not holding a firearm and are not below 50% health. Damage reduction is given if you hold out any firearm. The fast health regeneration is given when you're below 50% and not holding out the firearm, because damage reduction overrides it for some reason. And there are no debuffs for using this perk as far as I'm concerned. And you also get access to the Freezer evolution, which is a very low chance, but it's possible when you have Frost perk. And the Ice Walker variation of the Tank Mutant, which is just a reskin of the normal Apex tank. Because of how difficult this perk is to explain on paper, I will show some gameplay on it. Yeah, so that's the best way I can explain it and show it off, because you have to play it to understand it. Then we have Tactician, and
Tactician.
yeah, okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this perk lowers the punishment for having more armor or items on you by ignoring part of the weight. In addition, you reload a little bit faster and can roll if you fall from 10 studs or higher, so you take less damage and you're not ragdolling. This perk's only downside is that it makes you lose that 40 resilience, but you are going to use it on armored teams anyway. You don't need that resilience, trust me. That's probably one of the best perks in the game anyway right now, so you should definitely get it. Unless you are, drum rolls, that's my Easter egg. Unless you're saving up for Brute. Brute is an incredibly decent perk, honestly, like, you cannot go wrong with it. It's useful on both armored and unarmored. Okay, so what do you get from this perk? So you get 35 extra HP, totaling 135 total HP. You can break C4 walls with a sledgehammer, very viable by the way. You cannot be ragdolled by stuff like batons, dealing with guards is very good now. Metal pipes or electrocution, they slow you down instead. So you also get 40 additional resilience, totaling to 80, and you can go through glass doors that you have access to, and if you're low health you are not slowed down, so yeah. You also are healing passively about 3 times faster than without any perk. Okay, so what does Rogue do? Now, let's imagine that's you. I typed you. And you are very happy because you got Rogue perk. You also wear no armor currently, so you have 90 total resilience. Great job! But you decide it's not enough and you decide to put on a vest at least, you know. Just because. And what does that do? It just takes 15 resilience out of your 90 total and you're left with 75 maximum total resilience. Now, you decide that's not enough even more, so you put on a helmet. And that takes another 15 points. You're left with 60 total resilience if you have full armor and 75 if you have, like, let's say you have only a vest or only a helmet. So, you are left with 60 modified resilience if you have full armor and 90 if you have none. Now, what does that mean at resilience? Let's imagine that's a normal resilience. You just shoot a bullet, blocks part of the damage, and a small portion of it goes through, damaging you in the end. That's you again, by the way. And what does Rogue do? It basically just does that. It blocks 100% of the damage, regardless if you're in combat or not. It regenerates every 7 seconds. Like, you can be in any situation and it regenerates every 7 seconds. Now, the only downside is, you know, you have only 100 health. Yeah, well, Rogue does not like you having that much, and we just do that. You're left with 70 total health points total. Yeah, so enough of the math class. So you have 70 health, and if you have no armor, you have 90 resilience. If you have one armor piece, it's 75. If you have both of them, it's 60. And the resilience blocks 100% of the damage, like, that's it. So if you're a beginner, you have been playing for like a month, and not like 24/7 as I am, I would not recommend buying it or exclusively grinding for it, because of the simple reason the price is too big to justify it. Now here's an 8-second video of me basically using Rogue, because it's a very good showcase of what it does. Too much math, too much text, my head hurts, man. Alright, okay, it doesn't matter. So, we have Ghost Perk, right? This perk is amazing on patience and barely viable on any other team. So, you cannot be detected by camera scans, by security scanners. And when you enter combat, like when you get shot, you get speed boost for like a second or two. The ankle bracelet does not shock you as well. And you can be seen on the FI's ability Sixth Sense, which is basically seeing through walls, everybody. And one of the features that I have wanted in any game but never has seen is the play dead ability. It can work wonders, but most often than not it will flop. Just like Q when you hold G to use it. Yeah, okay, alright, enough of my terrible jokes. Now it's Desperado perks time. Why do I hate it? I don't know, I haven't played it, but... So, according to the wiki, you have 40 resilience maximum, and you start at 0. When you damage others, you refuel resilience, and you also have a trio passive, which when you reach maximum resilience, it becomes red and reduces your overall recoil by 50%, and you can survive one fatal shot. So let's say like you're 1 health and you get hit, you may survive this. And the downside is you cannot regenerate passively. Yeah, the perk just sucks. Well, that's it, I cannot say much else. I focus on Rogue and Frost more than any other perk. as you probably had seen. And if you want the rest of the perks descriptions and what abilities they have, which I should have said most, but still, check out the wiki in the description. It's incredibly helpful source because the person making it has affiliation with the development team, so he has one of the most accurate stats in there. Okay, now that's officially it. There's nothing else. Yeah, if you wonder why my microphone quality changed within the last 3 clips, it's because I am too lazy to change my input device. Who's messaging me? Input device.